Hi, welcome back to BRMC's Healthy Connections. Mike has been talking about, you were just before the break talking about, we were talking about sports medicine and Heather and all the work that she's doing, and you said there's an opportunity. What is
you
that?
cut me off and I forgot. I have no idea what I was going to say.
Oh, so. you're too young for senior moments. Come on.
We have Jackson Rhodes at Wells Fargo Investments has donated, been so generous to donate a timing system to the hospital. And what this timing system will allow us to do is to go out and time any kind of race, typically 5Ks, 10Ks, marathons, bike races, it doesn't matter.
That's very generous of him.
Time these races, absolutely. He might give me a call if I gave the dollar amount, but it was extremely generous. These systems are extremely advanced
and very expensive.
And very expensive.
Yep. He can call me too. So.
It's
okay, Jackson.
but I do want to say, to him and his teams, they donated it on behalf of the C3 charity that was set up a few years ago. He sent us, a few of us went to St. Louis to train on it, and it's just an amazing little system. But for instance, I think we have some upcoming events. I know the C3 event's coming up. I believe it's October 1st. Is that
October 1st? Yep.
It's that first Saturday in October, and within that you have, I believe, and I'll miss a couple of them, but you have a 5K, a 10K, a 20-mile run, and then there's three bike categories, and you'll be able to time all those individually. When you cross the timing system to start your race, it logs your time, and then when you come back, whenever that may be,
some of us later than others,
whenever you come back, it stops it, and you have an elapsed time. It's just a really neat system. This particular company, the owner has numerous patents. They do, I think they've done the Boston Marathon, the New York City Marathon. It's a timing system much like you'd see at the Tour de France, or just it's very sophisticated. And we have the technology in Mountain Home, Arkansas now. So I'm very excited. There's a lot to look at and a lot to undertake. But and that's what the sports medicine team does. That's kind of their function, is to be the outreach arm, if you will, for the Active Lifestyle Institute.
Wonderful.
But there are other. We didn't get the timing system in quite soon enough. The Cotter Warriors have a 5K this weekend, and we just weren't able to work it out, but I was hoping we could time that race. We're going to miss it.
So you're blending in with high schools all over those 11 counties?
Absolutely. Any way we can help, and unfortunately we can't do them all. I mean, there's always something, and we only have a limited amount of resources and talent, if you will, that have learned the system or are learning the system. So we can't do them all, but certainly want the opportunity to consider as many as we can, because we do want to do that. But it's going to be a great amount of fun. And one thing too, I think even this year, and I'm a little fuzzy on the dates because I wrote it down and not on my hand. But
it's the old nurse's trick. Okay, we write it. Right. We write it on anything.
Anything. So. But the Hackler, I believe, the intermediate school, is doing some field events and things like that. And I think we're going to take the timing system out there and kind of, kids love competition too.
Yes, they do.
I know mine do.
Yeah.
But these kids love to beat their classmates and their school chums, if you will.
And their own personal record if they've ever run before and been timed.
So we're going to try to get involved with the schools around. And again, I mean, not just in Mountain Home for sure, but anywhere we can be involved to help children and their parents, us parents, understand that what we do and how active we are with our children really does affect us when we
down
become
the road.
Absolutely. It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
So, and this is too. I wanted to go back and this is the third event. Then back to the October 1st event. C3.
It's third or fourth?
It's the third.
It's the third.
It's
Okay,
the third, and this is out on David's Trail.
It's on David's Trail, and I think October 1st, I think it starts around 8, so you certainly want to be there earlier.
But to get registered.
They're talking about, I'm thinking they're anticipating, and I hope I don't get a phone call on this, but I think they're anticipating around 500 people, volunteers included.
That was the last number I heard.
Yeah,
so
I think it was about
great.
350 last year, and that's just phenomenal. I know the sports medicine team and Active Lifestyle Institute put on our first race last year, and it was a 5K run walk. And
Jingle Bell Run?
Jingle Bell Run.
Yeah,
that's right. December 18th.
Yes.
It was balmy and it was cold.
It was cold, but it was clear and sunny.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
But
I can remember thinking about that, going, their runners are going to be out there in a foot of snow.
Yeah, we had a 9 o'clock start on that, and I remember rolling out of bed at 4 that morning, wondering why.
Yeah.
Why? But we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. We kept people relatively warm. But you know, there's a lot of work goes into that. But for our first one, we were tickled to death, and we had right at 100 runners and walkers. But
going to do that again this year?
Absolutely going to do it again this year, and we haven't come up with a Saturday just yet. But it's going to be right around Christmas, and we hope it's not bitterly cold, but we hope it's cold. But
makes you run faster.
I guess so.
Good incentive.
We had a lot of people come out, and the nice thing about the Jingle Bell Run, much like the C3 event and the other 5Ks around here too, it's certainly not specific to us. But we encourage families to come out. I remember we had one family, I think there were 6. There were 2 parents, I think 3 kids, and then a grandmother they had. And they just walked the course. Everybody got T-shirts and that kind of thing. But and that's what's important, is to have fun, be active. And if you can do it with friends and family, it just makes it that much better. So I
remember Mike doing all the planning on this too, and went into such detail that if in case it were too cold, or kids, we all know that they have the best intentions, but as they were walking along, if they got tired or too cold, he had vans and different cars already that were there, all heated up for them to get into and bring them back to the start if they didn't want to finish.
Yeah, we had I think in the sports medicine team, we worked on that really hard to come up with as many contingency plans as you can, and maybe it seems, you know, it's what is this, September, and it seems like overkill, but you really do concern yourselves with the well-being of others. And our youngest was, I think, 1.5 years, and that concerned me a little, but an attentive mom made sure everything was fine, and then we had some I'll say more experienced and seasoned people.
Careful.
Matter of fact, we gave an award, and I know he won't care, but John Requi got our most experienced participant award. I won't say his age, but he's well over 40. he might be 43 or 4, but all in good fun. But it's as important as for the 3 and 4 year old to get out and be active as it is for
to see all ages
for middle of
participate.
lifers or our older friends and family. But enough with the video games. I mean, they're fun and they have their place. For sure. We have a little game console, but we try not to be consumed by it. I was out last night throwing football around with my kid, and we get out, throw the frisbee, and go fishing and kayaking, and we really do a lot of stuff out.
And we
all
live in this area for that reason. Why aren't we out enjoying it?
I can't imagine living in North Dakota. I mean, where I just can't imagine.
I did that.
I just couldn't imagine.
It's
I just
cold.
can't imagine snowmobiling is too much fun for more than 20 minutes.
It's got
for more than 20
its
minutes.
Points. Yeah.
I'm sure it does. But,
ice skating, that kind of thing. It's fun.
But we're staying busy. We're doing. I think, and this doesn't speak to me. It speaks to all the people I get to work with. We're doing a lot of good for a lot of people. When we started the service line back in 2009, to look at the metrics, to look at the data that we had then, and look at it now, we've we've all worked very hard, and the hospitals ensured that we're doing appropriate clinical things for all of our patients, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah. We're always trying to make good better.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go back to, I believe, I think it's about 1993, 1994, the length of stay for a major joint, let's say you had a major knee replacement, length of stay was somewhere around 15 to 16 days. That number now is 3.5 days, and actually it's 3.3 next year. And the reason, and I was up rounding on the floor the other day with a gentleman, and we were talking about technology, and he said, "Y'all aren't trying to kick me out of here, are you?" And I told him, I said, no, that's not the point at all. We have plenty of patients who stay, longer than 3 days, and it's a medical necessity thing. And I told him a story of my mom. She fell and broke her hip in 2007, Christmas Eve in Atlanta. And of course, they did the surgery. It was late at night. They flew her into Atlanta, did the surgery first thing Christmas morning, and had her up walking around. About 2 o'clock that day, I called to check on her, and she was actually out of the room walking around. And I remember I was mad.
Thinking, what on earth are they doing to my mom?
Yeah,
she just had surgery.
Who said you could do that to my mom?
Yeah.
I mean, she just broke her hip. But it's appropriate, and we don't lay around. Years ago they would make you lay around and heal and all this. Not anymore.
Well, and the technology is
so
advanced.
That's the difference maker.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
And
maker.
it's all the way across the board.
Absolutely.
In healthcare.
Absolutely. Every discipline you can think of.
And it's a great place to work, isn't it? Because we just have the best technology out there. We'll
it's
take on any big city.
It's a neat place. I will tell you that. We're very blessed to have it.
Yeah, we are.
Have all the stuff we have in Mountain Home, Arkansas.
Yeah, we are. And
it's a little town, but we've. Yeah, and that just speaks to the generosity, I think, of the people who support us.
Big hearts here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very big hearts.
I've never seen, I grew up in the Deep South. People do care. I mean, you walk downtown Atlanta, people say hi, they're friendly. I've never seen a town come together and wrap their arms around so many things. I just left a meeting, and in that meeting they're representing, I think it's 6 or 7 different charities. And it's not uncommon at all. It's just another day.
It's just the way folks are.
It's really neat here. It is different. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why we all enjoy living here.
Well, and you and I have a chance to get out and go to other communities around, and it's just or other like-sized communities like ours, and it's a different atmosphere here. People truly do care about their neighbor here, and I like that. I don't think I'd want to raise. I know I wouldn't want to raise my children in Atlanta, but I can't imagine where else I'd rather raise my children than here.
And right here.
In this area.
You bet.
I truly mean that.
You bet. Mine keep coming to visit more and more.
Coming back. For long they'll be moving in.
Yeah, I can't. There's that lake and that river. Okay, yeah.
We enjoy it.
Especially when they catch the fish, their eyes are this big, going, "Okay, we're going to go tomorrow."
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of things to do here that a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yep. And excellent health care. Mike, I want to thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Active lifestyle is just that. It's growing, and it is out there helping people stay active, get active, keep active. So
I agree. And just one more quick point.
Sure.
I tell people, whether you're 30 years old and you're training for a marathon, or whether you're 60 years old and your active is walking a flight of stairs a couple times a week, or just going to the barber, that's actually a stereotype. We have a lot of senior citizens that run half marathons, some of them maybe even full marathons. We have senior Olympic champions here in Mountain Home. But whatever your active is, find that active. Whether it's a half marathon or walking around a block in the evening with your dog or your friends or whatever, find your active and maintain it and try to better it.
Find your active, folks. That's the word for today. Find your active. Get off that couch. Get out of that chair.
Goes for us too.
Yeah. And that's just what we're going to do. Mike, thanks again. Thanks for
Donna.
joining us. We'll see you again next week on BRMC's Healthy Connections.